is a world.
This is a world premiere.
This is a world premiere.
I done been through a whole lot, trial, tribulation, but I know God.
Hey, Reg here, and welcome back to the blog and the return of the Fruitarian. It's day 43 of my 60-day raw food challenge. Yesterday, I forgot to check back in my 2012 raw food challenge for day 42, and then when I checked for today, I realized I hadn't made a post for day 43. I didn't make a post for day 43 back in 2012. So interestingly, day 42, I talk a little bit about where food comes from. And that connects to a topic that I had intended to tackle today. So we've been talking a little bit about being a vegan and how there are a lot of complexities when we start looking at, the economics, and we start looking at culture, and we start looking at race. But even not thinking about any of those things, just looking at kind of the food industry itself and where food comes from, you begin to understand that becoming a vegan is not a silver bullet. Limiting your diet to vegetables, even organic ones, it's not going to cure all the world's ills. And I'm sure that most people know that, but there are some in the vegan movement who seem to be saying that. And I don't want to call people out, but if you follow vegan bloggers, you probably know who I'm talking about. So yesterday I talked about the challenges of maintaining a vegan lifestyle if you're one of the 58 million people going hungry in the US. But what about people who do make it work? If you're living a vegan lifestyle, does it mean that you're not part of this huge systemic problem and even helping to promote cruelty, suffering, and even death? First I want to talk about just a little bit about the idea of food miles. So that's the idea that your food may be shipped thousands of miles, often internationally. And if that's the case, what is the impact on the environment of that? And then what has to be done to the food so that it will withstand that trip? So that's a question that I have. And then another question is, how is it so cheap? After going through this supply distribution chains, how are they still able to keep the cost low? And I found an article at the CNN Feed 'em Project website, and they talk about how products are tied to actually what is a new form of slavery, with migrant workers in the industry laboring 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, kept in cramped and dirty trailers, constantly monitored, having wages garnished to pay debts that were invented by the traffickers to keep their victims enslaved. Many of the victims face threats to themselves, their families, regular beatings, sexual harassment, and rape. They can't leave, can't seek help. They're in every way trapped. There was a video that I found on channel4.com. It's a report by Siobhan Kennedy, and it's called "What's the Real Cost of Your Fresh Salad?" And I'll just include a link there, but she actually shows the situation that some of the people who are picking our food are in. Not to mention it's hazardous to human health. According to the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, agriculture consistently ranks as one of the most hazardous industries in the United States. There's the exploitation of children. The Center for Disease Control identifies agriculture as the most dangerous industry for youth, and despite this fact, current U.S. law allows children as young as 12 to work in the fields, and these children are 4 times more likely to be injured on the job than youth in any other industry. And if you think your organics are, make you safe, organic is not next to godliness. Many organic growers are guilty of the same kinds of worker exploitation as their corporate counterparts. And this is necessary if they are to compete and meet the growing demand for organic products. So in some ways, the vegan movement, which has people kind of clamoring for more organic foods, may be actually adding to the problem. And then if, the toll on, humans is not enough because, they're just people, not even animals are safe. Plowing and harvesting kills small mammals, snakes, lizards, and other animals in vast numbers. In addition, millions of mice are poisoned in grain storage facilities every year. And of course, there are the insects that need to be killed off to protect the vegetables, and that's death to living things regardless of the methods used. So this is why conversations about race, class, economics, and culture are so important. And limiting our conversation to just one aspect is, in such a huge picture, it's problematic. So that said, I didn't give any thought to what I'm listening to these days. What I will do is I'll tell you about a film that I discovered called The Food Chain. It's a film that I will put a link to so that you can get some information. It's currently, I think, available through iTunes, so it's something that I think you should be able to watch now. Probably it'll cost you about $4 to rent it on iTunes. So that said, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope this has given you some food for thought. And if you like what you heard, or if you like what's going on with this channel, please do subscribe and definitely like this post if you liked it. That said, I hope you guys have a great one. Continue loving yourselves. This is Reg checking out on day 43 of my 60-day raw food challenge. Peace.
I love myself.